Why do some people seem to accomplish so much in the same 24 hours that leave others exhausted, frustrated and unfulfilled? Why do some live with clarity and progress, while others drown in endless to-do lists and unfinished projects? The truth is simple. Time is the one resource every human being has equally. Yet the way we use it determines the quality of our lives. You cannot buy more hours. You cannot pause or rewind the clock, but you can learn the art of managing time, so that every day moves you closer to the life you want. This audiobook is not about working harder or cramming more into your schedule. It is about working smarter, aligning your habits, focus and priorities, so that your time becomes a tool of freedom, not a chain of stress. Time management is not just a productivity hack. It is a life skill. When you master it, you master the ability to create progress in your career, strengthen your relationships, and invest in your personal growth without burning out. With the secrets you'll discover here, you will learn to take back control of your hours, build systems that serve your goals, and finally experience the calm confidence of knowing you are living intentionally. Chapter 1: Understanding the Value of Time. Before you can master time management, you must first understand the true value of time. It is not just hours on a clock. It is the very substance of life. Every moment wasted is a moment you will never get back. Think of money. You can lose it and earn it again. Think of opportunities. One may pass, but others may arise. But time is absolutely non-renewable. Once it is gone forever. This is why time management is not simply about being organized. It is about protecting and honoring the most precious resource you have. They fail because they waste time on the unimportant. Hours are drained by distractions, endless scrolling, procrastination, and tasks that do not align with their deeper goals. Some common patterns include confusing being busy with being productive. Each day ends with exhaustion, but little progress. The mindset shift from hours to priorities. The first secret of time management is a mindset shift. You must stop thinking of time as endless hours and start thinking of it as a tool for priority. Ask yourself, if I only had 6 months left to live, what would I spend my time on? That question cuts through the noise. It forces clarity. It shows you that most of the things you stress about or waste time on are insignificant. When you value your time, you naturally begin to protect it. You say no to what doesn't matter. You build boundaries. You treat each day as an investment toward your future, not something to simply get through. The law of 86/400 seconds. Every morning, life gives you 86/400 seconds. Imagine a bank account that deposits 80. You can spend it however you like, but at midnight the account resets and whatever you didn't use is gone forever. That is exactly how time works. You cannot carry yesterday's unused hours into today. You cannot borrow from tomorrow. You only have today's deposit. The question is, will you spend it on what builds your life, or will you let it slip away? Time and life direction. The way you use your time is a mirror of your life's direction. If most of your time is spent on distractions, then your life will drift aimlessly. If your time is invested in growth, relationships and meaningful work, then your life will reflect purpose. Ask yourself, am I spending more time reacting than creating? Do my daily habits match the future I say I want? If someone observed my calendar, would they see the life of someone focused, or the life of someone scattered? Clarity in time reveals clarity in purpose. Case example: the hidden cost of distraction. Consider this. The average person spends nearly 3 hours per day on social media. That's over 1,000 hours a year. In that same time, you could have read 50 books, launched a side business, learned a new skill, deepened relationships with loved ones. The cost of distraction is not just lost minutes. It is lost opportunities, lost growth and lost life. Why honoring your time builds self-respect. When you manage your time well, you build a powerful form of self-respect. Each day you prove to yourself that your goals matter. You stop living in constant guilt of "I should have done more," and start experiencing the calm pride of knowing you spent the day intentionally. Poor time management leads to regret. Strong time management leads to confidence, freedom, and fulfillment. The foundation of every strategy, every tool, hack, or technique you will learn later in this audiobook is built on this foundation. Time is life. Until you grasp this truth, no system will truly work. But once you do, even the simplest strategies will transform how you live. So as we begin this journey, remember, you are not just managing hours, you are shaping your destiny. Chapter 2: Eliminating Time Wasters and Mastering Focus. Time slips away not because we lack discipline, but because we underestimate the power of distractions. Each small interruption may seem harmless, but over days, months, and years they steal entire chapters of our lives. If Chapter 1 taught us that time is life, this chapter is about protecting that life from thieves, those invisible forces that rob us of focus and energy, the silent killers of time. Most people lose more time to small leaks than to massive disasters. It's not one huge mistake that destroys productivity, it's the repeated loss of minutes. Here are the most common culprits. Other digital distractions, social media notifications, endless scrolling, just one more video. These platforms are designed to hijack your brain's dopamine system. Reactive living, checking emails first thing in the morning, constantly responding to texts, calls, and messages without boundaries. Multitasking, trying to do everything at once, creates mistakes, stress, and wasted time. Research shows multitasking lowers efficiency and increases mental fatigue. Unclear priorities. Working on tasks that feel urgent but aren't important. Being busy without meaningful progress. Overcommitment, saying yes to everything, spreading yourself too thin, leaving no time for essentials. Each of these steals time quietly, like a leak in a bucket. If you don't fix the leaks, you will never fill the bucket. The power of focused attention. Imagine a magnifying glass in the sun. When the rays scatter, they provide warmth but not power, but when concentrated, they ignite fire. Your attention works the same way. Scattered across distractions, it warms but never builds. Focused on one priority, it creates extraordinary results. Great achievements are not built in scattered moments. They are built in blocks of deep, uninterrupted focus. Practical strategies to eliminate time wasters. 1. Digital boundaries. Use app blockers during work hours. Schedule social media time instead of checking randomly. When you control your devices, you reclaim hours. 2. The morning rule. Never begin your day with email or social media. Start with your highest value task. Why? Because your morning energy is your sharpest weapon. Waste it on reacting to messages, and you lose your strongest hours. Instead, create a morning success ritual. Plan, focus, and attack the most important task before the world distracts you. The power of saying no. Every yes to something unimportant is a no to something vital. Learn to politely decline requests, projects, or invitations that do not serve your priorities. This isn't selfish, it's strategic. Think of it this way: your time is a vault. Protect it fiercely, or others will spend it for you. 4. The single task rule. Forget multitasking. Focus on one thing at a time. Set a timer for 25-50 minutes. Pomodoro method or deep work block. Work on one task with total immersion. Take a short break, then repeat. Single tasking doesn't just improve productivity, it reduces stress and increases quality. 4th, energy awareness. Time management is also energy management. Some tasks drain energy, others fuel it. that schedule your most demanding tasks for when your energy is highest. Morning for most people. Save low-energy tasks, emails, admin, routine chores for later in the day. Build breaks, exercise and rest into your schedule to recharge. This ensures you don't just manage time, you manage yourself within that time. Deep work versus shallow work. Author Cal Newport describes two types of work. Shallow work. Easy, low value, often reactive tasks. Emails, scrolling, small admin tasks. Deep work. Focused, high-value, mentally demanding tasks that create real progress. Most people drown in shallow work and never touch deep work. The secret is to deliberately design your day around deep work sessions. Block 2-4 hours daily for deep work. Protect this time like a meeting with yourself. During this block, eliminate all distractions. Phone on silent, browser closed, workspace clear. Deep work is where breakthroughs happen. The cost of procrastination. Every time you procrastinate, you are not just delaying a task, you are trading your future for temporary comfort. The psychology of procrastination is rooted in avoiding discomfort. But the discomfort never disappears. It multiplies, tasks pile up, stress increases, and self-respect decreases. Beating procrastination is not about forcing motivation. It is about creating momentum. Start small. Begin with 5 minutes. Action creates clarity, and clarity fuels confidence. Case study: the focused professional. Consider 2 employees. Person A starts their day checking emails, responds to every message instantly, multitasks and works 10 hours. At the end of the day they feel drained, yet their major projects remain unfinished. Person B spends the first 2 hours of their day in deep work on a key project, ignores distractions until scheduled breaks, and completes the day's high-value tasks before lunch. They leave work with energy, clarity, and real progress. Both worked hard, but only one worked with focus and control of time. The emotional benefits of focus. Time management is not only about productivity, it's also about peace of mind. When you eliminate distractions and focus, you achieve reduced stress, build self-respect, experience flow, the satisfying state of total immersion, create space for rest, creativity and joy. Your mind becomes calmer, sharper, and more resilient, creating a life of intentional focus. At its core, mastering focus is about intentional living. Instead of reacting, you create. Instead of drifting, you decide. Instead of scattering energy, you concentrate it. Focus is power, and when you align your focus with your highest priorities, you not only master time, you master life. Chapter 3. Building systems and routines that guarantee productivity. If Chapter 1 taught us that time is life, and Chapter 2 showed us how to eliminate distractions, Chapter 3 is about designing a life structure that makes success the default. The truth is simple. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. Goals are the vision. Systems are the engine. Without systems, even the most motivated person falls into chaos. Why systems beat motivation? Most people rely on bursts of motivation. They wait until they feel like it to start working. But feelings are unreliable. Some days you wake up energized, other days tired, some days inspired, other days doubtful. Motivation is like the weather, it changes. Systems are like architecture, they stay. When you build systems, you don't need to waste energy deciding what to do next. Your habits run on autopilot. You conserve willpower for the most important decisions. Systems remove friction, and friction is the silent killer of productivity. The 3 layers of a productive life. To build a lasting structure, You must focus on 3 levels: life systems, macro level, the big frameworks that keep your long-term vision alive. When these 3 align, productivity becomes effortless. Daily routines, designing your perfect day, the power of morning rituals. The way you start the day sets the rhythm for everything else. A rushed morning leads to scattered focus. A mindful morning creates momentum. A powerful morning ritual often includes faith, silence or reflection, prayer, meditation or journaling, movement, exercise, stretching, walking, planning, reviewing priorities and scheduling deep work first. Fuel, a healthy breakfast or hydration. Even 30 minutes of intentional routine can shift your entire day. Evening rituals, closing the loop. Most people collapse into bed with unfinished thoughts. That creates restless sleep and sluggish morning. Instead, end your day with reviewing what you accomplished, writing down tomorrow's top 3 priorities, tidying your workspace, disconnecting from screens. This signals your brain to relax and recharge. To the power of keystone habits. Some habits are more powerful than others because they create a ripple effect. Examples: reading fuels knowledge, sparks creativity, strengthens discipline. By building one keystone habit, you indirectly improve every area of your life. Weekly structures, designing momentum. A productive week doesn't happen by chance. It must be designed. The weekly planning session. Every Sunday, or whichever day suits you, sit down for 30-60 minutes and plan your week. Ask, what are my top 3 priorities this week? What commitments must I honor? Where will my deep work blocks fit in? What distractions must I avoid? Write these down. Schedule them. Treat them as appointments with your future self. Theme days. Many high achievers organize their weeks around theme. Monday, strategic planning. Tuesday, deep project work. Wednesday, network meetings. Thursday, creative work. Friday, review and growth. This prevents the scatter effect of jumping between unrelated tasks. The weekly review. At the end of the week, review what worked, what didn't, what should I improve next week. This reflection creates continuous improvement. You get better at time management every week. Life systems, building the bigger framework. Life is not just about today or this week. Systems must carry you for years. Vision anchors. Without vision, systems become mechanical. Anchor your routines to a long-term purpose. Example: I exercise not just to stay fit, but to be healthy enough to see my grandchildren grow. Quarterly goals and systems. Every 3 months, revisit your big goals. Ask, what progress have I made? What systems helped me? What needs redesign? This prevents drifting and keeps you aligned with your deeper mission. Automation and delegation. True productivity means focusing only on what you can do best, and systemizing the rest. Automate repetitive tasks, bill payments, reminders, recurring orders. Delegate tasks that others can do 80% as well as you. Outsource what drains you but doesn't move you forward. The most productive people are not the busiest. They are the most selective. The science of habits. How systems stick. James Clear, in Atomic Habits, explains that habits are built through 4 stages. E-care, a trigger that reminds you to act. T, craving, the desire for change. To make systems stick. E-care, make it obvious. Put your workout clothes where you'll see them. Make it attractive. Pair the habit with something enjoyable. Make it easy. Start small. 2 minutes of action builds momentum. Make it satisfying. Track progress. Celebrate small wins. Habits compound. Small daily actions create massive long-term results. E-care. Case study. The structured entrepreneur. Two entrepreneurs start businesses. Burnout looms. Progress is slow. Ike. Eterna lomamayamons. Progress is slow. Eterna buternov. He builds systems. They set routines. Automate finances. Outsource tasks and schedule deep work. They work fewer hours, but every hour compounds toward growth. After 2 years, Entrepreneur B is thriving. The difference is not effort, it's systems. The psychological freedom of systems. Ironically, systems don't restrict you. They free you, free from constant decision-making, free from the anxiety of forgetting, free from chaos and last-minute stress. A systemized life gives you space for creativity, joy and rest. Instead of reacting, you design. Instead of being controlled by time, you control it. The systemized life. Imagine a life where your long-term vision shapes your daily choices. Your habits run on autopilot, pulling you towards success. This is not fantasy. It's the result of intentional systems. Systems are not about perfection. They are about consistency. And consistency is the mother of mastery. Chapter 4. Mastering Prioritization and the Art of Saying No. If there is one secret that separates productive people from overwhelmed ones, it is this: they know what to ignore. Most people drown in busyness, not because they lack time, but because they fill their hours with the wrong things. They say yes to everything, and then wonder why there's no energy left for what truly matters. This chapter is about creating clarity, learning how to separate the urgent from the important, choosing the right battles, and building the courage to say no without guilt. Why prioritization is the heart of productivity. Time management is not just about doing things faster, it's about doing the right things. Think about it. You can be efficient at answering emails, but if your life's mission is building a business, spending 5 hours in your inbox is a trap. You can be efficient at cleaning your desk, but if your goal is to finish writing a book, neatness doesn't equal progress. Efficiency is doing things right. Effectiveness is doing the right thing. Productivity without prioritization is like running on a treadmill. You're moving fast, but going nowhere. The Pareto Principle. The 80-120 Law. Vilfredo Pareto, an Italian economist, discovered that 80% of results come from 20% of efforts. Applied to life, TY. 20% of clients bring 80% of revenue. 20% of habits produce 80% of growth. 20% of tasks create 80% of progress. This means that most of what you do daily doesn't matter much. The magic lies in identifying the vital few tasks that generate disproportionate results, and eliminating or delegating the rest. Ask yourself daily, what are the few actions that will create the biggest impact today? What would happen if I ignored 80% of my to-do list? This is not laziness. This is focus. The Eisenhower Matrix. Urgent versus important. President Dwight Eisenhower once said, "I have two kinds of problems, the urgent and the important. The urgent are not important, and the important are never urgent." The Eisenhower Matrix helps you decide what matters. Urgent, important, do immediately. Crisis, deadlines, emergency. Important, not urgent, schedule. Planning, exercise, skill building, relationships. Urgent, not important, delegate. Most emails, minor tasks, interruptions. Not urgent, not important, eliminate. Scrolling social media gossip, pointless tasks. The danger is that urgent tasks scream for attention, while important ones whisper. That's why people neglect health, learning and relationships until it's too late. Mastery comes when you learn to prioritize quadrant 2, important but not urgent, That's where true growth happens. The myth of multitasking. Many people believe multitasking makes them efficient. In reality, it makes them slower and less accurate. Science shows that every time you switch tasks, your brain burns energy refocusing. The result? You feel busy but accomplish less. Instead of multitasking, practice single tasking with intensity. Block time for one high-value activity. Eliminate interruptions. Work until completion or a natural break. This deep focus is how masterpieces are created, businesses are built, and lives are transformed. The courage to say no. Every yes is a no to something else. If you say yes to every request, you are saying no to your dreams, your health, your peace. The problem? Most people fear that saying no makes them selfish or rude. But the opposite is true. Saying yes to everything dilutes your life and prevents you from serving at your best. How to say no gracefully. Be clear, not apologetic. Thank you for thinking of me, but I don't have capacity right now. Offer an alternative. I can't join today, but perhaps next week work. Use priorities as shield. I'm focusing on X right now, so I can't commit to Y. Saying no is not rejection. It's self-respect. Decision fatigue. Why too many choices kill productivity. Every decision drains energy. From choosing what to wear to deciding what project to start, your brain uses willpower like a battery. By evening you're depleted. High performers reduce decision fatigue by automating trivial choices. Steve Jobs wore the same outfit daily. Athletes follow fixed routine. Writers set daily writing hours instead of deciding when each day. The fewer decisions you make on small things, the more energy you have for big decisions. The power of 3. Daily priority method. To avoid overwhelming to-do lists, use the rule of 3. At the start of each day, ask, if I only accomplish 3 things today, which would matter most? Then structure your day around them. This ensures progress on what truly matters, even if distractions eat the rest of your time. Boundaries. Protecting your time and energy. Time management is not just about scheduling tasks. It's about defending your time. FS. Set office hours. Don't be always available. Limit notifications. Turn off everything that interrupts deep work. FAQ. Protect your energy. Avoid toxic conversations and environments that drain you. Communicate boundaries. Let people know when you're available and when you're not. Strong boundaries create space for focus. Without them, other people will control your time. FAQ. Case study. The yes man versus the focused leader. Consider 2 professionals. The yes man accepts every meeting, replies instantly to every message, volunteers for every project. His calendar is full. His mind is scattered. His progress is minimal. The focused leader reviews requests carefully, says no often, schedules time only for high-value work. His calendar is lean. His impact is huge, and his stress is low. The difference isn't intelligence, it's prioritization and courage. Practical prioritization tools. Time blocking. Assign every hour a task, so you don't waste energy deciding what to do. Batching. Group similar tasks together. Emails, calls, errands. ABC method. Rank tasks as A. Critical. B. Important. C. Nice to do. Start with A. MITs. Most important tasks. Write 2-3 critical tasks daily and complete them first. When you combine these methods, you build a fortress around your time. The inner battle of prioritization. The hardest part of prioritization is not tools, it's psychology. We avoid important work because that's why many people prefer busy work. It feels productive, but keeps them safe. But success lives in discomfort. Prioritization is an act of courage. That's the ultimate question. At the end of the day, Productivity is not about cramming in more tasks. It's about asking, what is the one thing I can do today such that by doing it everything else becomes easier or unnecessary? If you answer that question honestly, and act on it daily, your life will transform. Chapter 5. Mastering Deep Work and Unlocking Flow States. The true secret of high achievement is not working more hours, it is working in such a focused and powerful state that 1 hour of effort produces what would normally take 10. This chapter is about building the conditions for deep work and accessing the flow state, where distractions vanish, time bends and productivity skyrockets. What is deep work? Coined by Professor Cal Newport, deep work is the ability to focus without distraction on a cognitively demanding task. It is work that pushes your skills, creates lasting value and moves you forward in ways shallow work never can. Examples of deep work: designing a new product strategy, solving complex problems, learning a new skill at a high level. By contrast, shallow work is scrolling through industry news that you'll forget in an hour. Shallow work makes you busy. Deep work makes you valuable. The flow state. Peak human performance. Flow is a psychological state, described by Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi. In flow you are so absorbed in the task that at time seems to disappear. The work feels effortless, even if it is challenging. Creativity and insight surge. You perform at your highest potential. Athletes call it being in the zone. Writers call it the muse. Entrepreneurs call it momentum. But flow doesn't happen by accident. It must be cultivated. The science behind focus and flow. Your brain has two modes. The focused mode. Active problem solving. Deliberate concentration. Diffuse mode. Relaxed thinking, where creativity and connections form. Deep work requires long stretches in focused mode, but balanced with rest to let diffuse mode process insights. Neuroscience shows that flow occurs when too easy, boredom, too hard, anxiety. Distractions are eliminated. Goals are clear. Thus, feedback is immediate. Creating conditions for deep work. 1. Design your environment. Your surroundings either support focus or sabotage it. Use noise-canceling headphones or ambient sound. Thus, keep your phone in another room. A focused environment sends a message to your brain. This is a place for serious work. D. Time blocking for deep work. Deep work cannot be squeezed into random gaps. It must be scheduled deliberately. Block 2-4 hours of uninterrupted time. Treat it like an unbreakable appointment. Do it at your energy peak. Morning for most people. Even one deep work block per day can transform your productivity. 3. The ritual of starting. Your brain needs cues that it's time to focus. Develop a ritual. Thus, brew a cup of coffee. Play the same instrumental playlist. Sit in the same chair. This signals your brain. Now we work deeply. 4. Eliminating distractions. Focus requires ruthlessness. Turn off notifications. Tell others you're unavailable. Remember, every interruption can take 23 minutes to fully recover from. Protect your attention like treasure. Practices that build flow. Set clear goals. Your brain resists vagueness. Instead of work on project defines its aim. Write 1,000 words of Chapter 3. Design presentation slides for the new proposal. Solve 3 practice problems on coding algorithms. Clarity creates momentum. Balance challenge and skill. Flow emerges when the task is slightly beyond your comfort zone. Thus, too easy, disengagement. Too hard, frustration. Use the Pomodoro expansion. Start with a 25-minute focus session. Gradually increase to 50-90 minutes. The goal is to build focus endurance. Just like training muscles. Build recovery into work. Flow requires energy. Without rest your brain burns out. Take short breaks every hour. Step away from screens. Walk, breathe, or stretch. Breaks are not laziness. They are productivity investments. The discipline of ending deep work. Many people stop deep work randomly, often at a messy point. Instead, end deliberately. Write down where you left off. Note the next step for tomorrow. Thus, close your laptop or notebook fully. This creates closure, and when you return, your brain can restart smoothly. The compounding effect of deep work. One deep work session may feel small, but over weeks and months, the compounding effect is enormous. 1 hour day, 250 hours year. A book written, a new language learned, a career leap. 2 hours day, 500 hours year. Mastery of a new skill, a thriving business, a transformed life. Shallow workers will always be busy. Deep workers will always be indispensable. Case study. The creator versus the dabbler. The dabbler works on 10 tasks at once, always checking their phone. Takes weeks to finish one project. The creator spends 3 hours in deep work daily, shuts out distractions, produces consistent high-quality results. The dabbler looks busy. The creator changes the world, making deep work a lifestyle. Deep work isn't just a technique, it's a lifestyle choice. It means valuing depth over speed. It means trading shallow comfort for meaningful challenge. It means designing life so that your best energy fuels your best work. When you live this way, you no longer chase productivity tips. You embody productivity itself. Chapter 6. Building Systems for Sustainable Productivity. Discipline and willpower are powerful, but they are not enough. Willpower runs out. Motivation fades. If you rely only on self-control, you will eventually collapse under the weight of inconsistency. That is why successful people don't just depend on discipline. They build systems. Systems are the invisible structures that carry you when motivation is low. They make productivity automatic. They remove decision fatigue. They turn goals into predictable outcomes. If deep work is about intensity, systems are about consistency. Why systems beat goals? Most people live with goals. I want to lose 10 kilos. I want to read more. I want to save money. Goals are useful. They give direction. But goals alone are fragile. You can fail to reach them, get discouraged, or quit when progress is slow. Systems, however, guarantee progress regardless of motivation. Goal: lose 10 kilos. System: exercise 4 times per week. Cook at home. Track meals. Goal: read 20 books this year. System: read 30 minutes every night before bed. Goal: save $5,000. System: automate transfers of $100 every week. Goals focus on outcomes. Systems focus on processes. And it is processes that shape destiny. The compound effect of systems. Think about brushing your teeth. You don't rely on motivation. It's automatic. Over years, the small daily act prevents decay and builds health. Systems apply the same principle to every area of life. Productivity, health, finances, relationships. Consistency beats intensity. A small action repeated daily will always outperform big actions done sporadically. Designing systems that work. 1. Start with keystone habits. A keystone habit is one that triggers positive ripple effects. Examples: exercise, improves energy, mood, confidence. Even diet. Morning planning, creates order for the whole day. Gratitude journaling, boosts optimism and resilience. Choose habits that influence multiple areas of life. Use triggers and cues. Habits are built around cues. Tie a new habit to something you already do. After brushing my teeth, I read 5 pages. After pouring morning coffee, I review my priorities. After finishing work, I take a 10-minute walk. The brain loves patterns. The more you link habits to triggers, the easier they stick. Automate whenever possible. Remove decision-making. Use technology to do the work for you. Advice: auto-pay bills. Auto-transfer savings. Schedule recurring tasks in your calendar. Use productivity apps to batch reminders. Automation frees mental space for creative, meaningful work. Batching tasks for efficiency. Instead of scattering tasks across the day, batch them. Handle emails at 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. Not all day. Meal prep for the week on Sunday. Make all calls during one afternoon block. Batching eliminates the inefficiency of constant switching. Ritualize routines. Routines are systems for your day. Create ones for morning, exercise, review priorities, deep work block, evening, reflection, reading, digital detox, sleep preparation. When routines run smoothly, your day feels lighter, calmer, and more predictable. The role of environment in systems. Your environment shapes your behavior more than willpower does. Keep your desk clean and phone out of reach. Want to read? Place a book on your pillow so you must pick it up before bed. Don't fight bad habits, design an environment where they can't survive. The feedback loop. Tracking and adjusting. Systems need feedback to grow stronger. Track your habits with a journal or app. Celebrate streaks, not just results. Review weekly. What's working? What's failing? If something doesn't work, adjust the system, not your willpower. The psychology of consistency. Humans love progress but fear effort. Systems. Reduce the mental burden of effort. When you do something daily, it becomes part of your identity. You no longer try to work out, you are someone who works out. You no longer try to manage time. You are someone who lives with order. Identity-driven systems last longer than motivation-driven habits. Case study. The chaotic worker versus the system builder. The chaotic worker wakes up late, scrambles through the day, forgets priorities, answers emails endlessly, and ends each day exhausted with little to show. The system builder has morning rituals, works in time blocks, automates small tasks, and ends each day knowing progress is locked in. One relies on energy, the other relies on structure. Guess who wins consistently? Building anti-fragile systems. Life is unpredictable. Systems must be flexible enough to adapt. Miss a workout, resume the next day. Don't restart from zero. Travel disrupts your morning routine. Keep one anchor habit, like journaling or stretching. Work emergency arises. Use weekly planning to reschedule priorities. The best systems don't collapse under stress. They bend and adapt. The long-term power of systems thinking. Think of time like a river. Without systems, you drift with the current, reacting. With systems you build a boat and steer where you choose. Every major transformation, financial freedom, physical health, career success, is simply the result of small systems, executed daily, over years. Systems are boring, but their results are extraordinary. The formula for sustainable productivity: clarity, know your priorities, automation, reduce decisions, consistency, build habits and routines, feedback, track and adjust, identity, become the kind of person who lives by systems. Do this, and productivity is no longer an effort. It becomes who you are. Chapter 7: Mastering Your Energy for Peak Productivity. Time is finite. No matter how skilled you are at managing it, you only get 24 hours each day. But what separates those who achieve extraordinary results from those who merely survive isn't the number of hours, it's the energy they bring into those hours. Productivity is not just about scheduling. It's about the quality of your presence in each moment. You can have the best planner, the perfect calendar, and flawless systems. But if you are tired, distracted, or emotionally drained, none of it matters. To truly master time, you must master energy. The 4 dimensions of energy. Your energy isn't just physical. It operates on 4 interconnected dimensions. Physical energy, the fuel your body provides. Mental energy, the clarity and sharpness of your mind. Emotional energy, the stability of your inner state. Spiritual energy, the sense of meaning and purpose that drives everything else. When all 4 align, productivity feels effortless. When one breaks down, the others collapse. 1. Physical energy, fueling your body for performance. You can't pour from an empty cup. A tired body leads to a tired mind. The energy equation: movement, nutrition, rest. Movement, daily exercise oxygenates the brain, improves focus, and fights fatigue. You don't need hours in the gym. Just 20-30 minutes of intentional activity. Nutrition. Food is fuel. Processed sugar spikes and crashes destroy focus. Prioritize whole foods, vegetables, lean proteins, healthy fats. Think of meals as productivity investments, not indulgences. Rest. Sleep is the ultimate performance enhancer. It sharpens memory, creativity, and decision-making. Guard your 7-8 hours as if it were $1 million meeting, because it is. Micro-energy hacks. Stretch between tasks. Drink water before coffee. Take walking meetings. Use the 50-cent drill. 50 minutes work, 10 minutes recovery. Small actions compound into sustained energy throughout the day. 2. Mental energy, the power of focus and clarity. Your brain is like a battery. Every decision, distraction, and piece of clutter drains it. Eliminate mental clutter. Declutter your workspace. Declutter your mind. Write down ideas, tasks, and reminders instead of holding them in memory. Use a second brain system, apps, journals, or planners, so your mind stays free for deep work. Sharpening focus. Practice single tasking. Do one thing with full attention. Use time blocks for demanding work. Limit notifications. Protect your mental bandwidth. The power of reflection. Mental clarity grows when you take time to reflect. Spend 10 minutes each evening journaling. What energized me today? What drained me? How can I improve tomorrow? 3. Emotional energy. Mastering your inner state. Emotions are energy in motion. They either fuel or sabotage your productivity. The cost of negative emotions, stress, frustration, and self-doubt drain energy faster than any task. Carrying emotional baggage into your day is like running with weights tied to your legs. Emotional mastery practices. Pause and breathe. A 2-minute breathing exercise resets your nervous system. Gratitude rituals. Write down 3 things you're grateful for. Shifts focus from scarcity to abundance. Reframing. Instead of "I have to do this," say "I get to do this." This tiny shift changes resistance into opportunity. Relationships and energy. Surround yourself with people who uplift you. Toxic connections drain productivity more than you realize. Guard your emotional boundaries. Spiritual energy. Connecting with purpose. The deepest form of energy doesn't come from food, exercise, or even rest. It comes from meaning. When you know why you do something, you don't need constant motivation. Purpose turns work into service, tasks into mission. Questions to align purpose. Why is this important to me? Who benefits when I do this well? What legacy am I building with my choices today? Anchors of spiritual energy. Meditation or prayer quiets the mind, strengthens the soul. Acts of service. Giving energy to others replenishes your own. Vision building. Regularly revisit your long-term vision, so daily work feels meaningful. The rhythm of energy. Ultradian cycles. Humans naturally operate in 91. After intense focus, The body demands rest. Work deeply for 90 minutes. Rest or shift tasks for 15 to 20 minutes. Repeat. Ignoring these rhythms leads to burnout. Respecting them creates flow. Energy leaks. Hidden drains on productivity. Often, productivity isn't about adding more effort. It's about plugging the leaks. Unfinished tasks keep running in your subconscious, draining energy. Toxic media consumption. Constant negativity weakens focus. Multitasking splits attention, doubles exhaustion. Poor boundaries. Saying yes to everything depletes your best hours. Identify your leaks. Close them one by one. Energy recovery. Rituals. Energy isn't infinite. It must be renewed. Build recovery into your day. Morning rituals. Set intention and energy before the world demands it. Midday resets. Short walks. Breathing. Light stretches. Evening wind downs. Disconnect from screens. Reflect. Prepare for quality sleep. Recovery is not a luxury. It is the secret weapon of high performers. Case study. The two professionals. Anna works 14 hours daily, skipping meals, sleeping 5 hours, pushing through fatigue. She feels productive, but her results decline. She burns out within months. David works 8 focused hours, exercises daily, eats clean, protects his sleep, journals for clarity, and nurtures positive relationships. He not only sustains productivity, but grows stronger with time. Both have the same hours. Only one manages energy, not just time. Integrating energy with time systems. Time management and energy management are not separate. They are partners. Time blocks create structure. Energy rituals fuel performance inside those blocks. Systems make productivity automatic. Energy makes productivity powerful. When you align systems with energy cycles, your days transform. The formula for energy-driven productivity. Fuel your body. Nutrition. Sleep. Movement. Protect your mind. Clarity. Focus. Reflection. Master your emotion. Gratitude. Reframing. Boundary. Anchor in purpose. Meaning fuels resilience. Respect natural rhythms. Work with cycles, not against them. Final thought. Energy is the real currency of life. Time is the stage. Energy is the performance. You don't need more hours. You need more life inside each hour. Manage your energy, and every moment becomes an opportunity for brilliance. Chapter 8. The Power of Prioritization. Choosing what truly matters. Time management is not about doing more. It's about doing what matters most. You can fill your calendar with endless tasks, yet still fail to move closer to your goals. True productivity lies not in activity, but in priority. Many people struggle because they confuse being busy with being effective. But the truth is, every minute you spend on something unimportant is a minute stolen from something life-changing. The question is not, how do I get everything done? The real question is, what deserves to be done at all? The 80-20 principle. Focus on the vital few. One of the most powerful concepts in prioritization is the Pareto principle, or the 80-20 rule. That 20% of your efforts produce 80% of your results. 20% of your clients generate 80% of your revenue. 20% of your habits shape 80% of your life. The challenge is to identify that vital 20% and double down on it. Action step. Write down all your current tasks and commitments. Circle the few that truly move you forward in career, health, or relationships. Then ruthlessly cut, delegate, or delay the rest. The Eisenhower matrix. Urgent versus important. President Dwight Eisenhower famously said, "What is important is seldom urgent, and what is urgent is seldom important." To manage your priorities, separate tasks into 4 categories. Important and urgent. Do immediately. Important but not urgent. Schedule and protect. Urgent but not important. Delegate if possible. Neither important nor urgent. Eliminate. Most people waste their lives in category 4 and spend too much time in category 3. High performers live in category 2, doing important things before they become urgent. The cost of saying yes. Every yes is also a no. If you say yes to late-night emails, you may be saying no to quality sleep. If you say yes to every meeting request, you're saying no to focused work. Learning to say no with confidence is one of the greatest time management skills. Ask yourself, does this align with my goals? Is this worth trading my energy for? Will I regret not spending this time elsewhere? Decision-making frameworks for clarity. Your productivity is only as strong as your ability to make clear decisions. Poor decisions create clutter, delay and wasted energy. The one thing question. Ask, what is the one thing I can do today, such that by doing it, everything else will be easier or necessary. 2. The $10,000 per hour test. Would you pay yourself $10,000 per hour for the task you're about to do? If not, why are you doing it? The regret minimization filter. Picture yourself at the end of your life. Will you regret not focusing on this? The power of a not-to-do list. Everyone has a to-do list. Few have a not-to-do list. And this is where real productivity begins. A not-to-do list might include checking social media during work hours, saying yes to projects outside your mission, attending unnecessary meetings, multitasking when deep work is needed. By eliminating what doesn't matter, you protect space for what does. Prioritization in action. Case study. Scenario A. Michael spends his day responding to emails, attending unplanned calls, running errands and helping others with their tasks. He feels exhausted, but realizes he didn't move closer to his long-term goal. Scenario B. Sarah identifies her top 3 priorities in the morning, time blocks them into her schedule, and protects them from distractions. By 2 p.m. her most important work is done. She feels focused, accomplished, and free. The difference. Sarah chooses. Michael reacts. The rule of 3. Daily prioritization. Every morning, instead of writing a long to-do list, choose 3 priorities only. These should be the tasks that, if completed, make the day successful. Even if everything else falls apart, finishing your 3 ensures progress. This builds momentum and prevents overwhelm. The discipline of essentialism. Greg McKeown's philosophy of essentialism teaches, if it's not a clear yes, it's a clear no. Living by this rule forces you to filter opportunity. If a task doesn't align with your core mission or values, it doesn't belong in your life. Protecting priorities with boundaries. Prioritization means nothing if you don't defend your choices. Communicate clearly with colleagues and family about when you're available and when you're not. Remove distractions. Silence notifications. Close extra tabs. Leave your phone in another room. Boundaries are not barriers. They're shields for your priority. Momentum through compounding priorities. When you consistently choose what matters most, small victories compound into massive progress. 1 focused hour each day. 365 hours per year. 1 priority project per quarter. 4 breakthroughs per year. 1 powerful habit maintained. Transformation over time. Prioritization is the quiet force behind extraordinary results. Reflection questions. To sharpen priorities. What truly matters to me in this season of life? Which tasks bring me closer to that vision? Which tasks steal time without meaning? What will I regret not focusing on 5 years from now? Write these down weekly to recalibrate your focus. The truth about prioritization. At its core, prioritization. At its core, prioritization is not about time. It's about courage. The courage to say no, the courage to choose fewer things, and the courage to give your best energy to what truly matters. When you prioritize well, time bends in your favor. Each day feels purposeful, progress feels natural, and life becomes aligned with your deepest values. Chapter 9. Focus and Deep Work. The ultimate productivity multiplier. If time is the canvas of life, then focus is the brush. Without focus, your time is scattered, fragmented, and wasted. With focus, your time is magnified, creating results far beyond the hours invested. We live in a world where distractions are constant. Notifications buzz, emails flood in, and social media competes for our attention every minute. Yet those who master focus have an almost unfair advantage. They produce in one focused hour what others cannot achieve in 5 distracted ones. Deep work is not optional in today's world. It is the currency of mastery, the skill that separates creators from consumers, leaders from followers, and achievers from dreamers. The nature of focus. Focus is not simply about removing distractions. It is about directing your energy toward the highest value task. It requires discipline, clarity, and commitment. Think of focus as a spotlight. Left uncontrolled, it flickers in all directions, but when you direct it onto one task with intensity, it burns through resistance like a laser. The science of attention. Research shows the average person is distracted every 40 seconds while working on a computer. Each interruption can take up to 23 minutes to regain full focus. Imagine the hours wasted daily, not from lack of skill, but from lack of attention. Your brain works best when immersed in one task for extended periods. Multitasking, despite its popularity, is a myth. It reduces productivity, weakens memory, and increases stress. True productivity comes from single tasking with depth. Deep work versus shallow work. Productivity expert Cal Newport defines 2 categories of work. Deep work, cognitively demanding tasks that push your skills, create value, and cannot be easily replicated. Most people drown in shallow work. Emails, meetings, messages, leaving no time for deep work. But deep work is where breakthroughs happen. If you want to master time, you must flip the balance. Minimize shallow work. Maximize deep work. Creating environments for focus. Your environment either supports focus or sabotages it. Physical environment. Keep your workspace clean and minimal. Remove visible distractions. Clutter equals cognitive noise. Use dedicated zones for focused work. One desk for deep work, another for calls, emails if possible. Digital environment. Turn off non-essential notifications. Use apps or extensions that block distracting websites during focus hours. Social environment. Communicate with others about your focus times. Use signals like headphones or a closed door to indicate you are not available. Rituals of deep work. Discipline beats motivation. By creating rituals, you train your brain to enter focus states automatically. Time blocking. Reserve specific hours for deep work every day. Protect them fiercely. Pre-work routine. Stretch, breathe, or make tea before beginning signal to your brain that focus is starting. Set an intention. Write down exactly what you'll accomplish before you start. You work in sprints. 60-90 minutes of intense focus, followed by 10-15 minutes of rest. The flow state. At the peak of focus lies flow, a state where time disappears, distractions fade, and you are fully immersed in the task. Flow is where your best work emerges. Flow is triggered when the challenge is high enough to engage you. The task matches your skills. You receive clear feedback along the way. Your goal is to design your work environment, to make flow inevitable. Managing internal distractions. Not all distractions come from the outside. Many come from within. Wandering thoughts, worries, impulses, strategies for inner focus. Mindfulness practice. Train awareness of your thoughts without reacting to them. Menu bump. Write down nagging ideas on paper before deep work, so they stop bouncing around in your mind. Breathing techniques. Calm the nervous system. Reduce restlessness. Digital discipline. Winning back your attention. Your phone and computer are powerful tools, but also dangerous enemies of focus. Digital detox practices. App fasting. Delete or hide distracting apps for a period. Notification audit. Keep only essential alerts. Email windows. Check emails at fixed times, not continuously. Phone-free zones. Keep your phone out of reach during deep work. Remember, every distraction is designed to hijack your attention. Protect it as your most valuable resource. Energy and focus connection. Focus cannot exist without energy. If your body is tired, your focus will fail. Eat light before deep work sessions. Work at your peak energy times morning for most people. Take regular breaks to reset your attention. The 3 levels of focus mastery. Minute level focus. Can you concentrate on the task for 10-15 minutes without wandering? Hour level focus. Can you sustain deep work blocks of 16? Day level focus. Can you design your day around a few priority focus sessions, instead of drowning in shallow tasks? As you level up, your output multiplies. Case study. The focused creator versus the distracted worker. Emma spends her day checking messages, jumping between tabs, attending constant meetings. She works 10 hours, but her best ideas never surface. Her energy is scattered. James blocks 3 deep work sessions of 90 minutes. He silences distractions, enters flow and completes projects that move his career forward. He works fewer hours, but produces 10 times the impact. The difference is not intelligence or opportunity, it's focus. The courage to disconnect. Focus requires courage, the courage to disconnect from constant pings, to resist the fear of missing out, and to say, my attention belongs to my goals, not to the noise of the world. When you train your focus, you regain control of your life. Reflections, questions for focus mastery. What distracts me most often? And how can I eliminate it? When do I feel most focused during the day? What rituals can I create to enter deep work consistently? What shallow tasks can I minimize or delegate to protect focus time? The essence of focus. At its core, focus is the art of presence. It is the discipline of bringing your full self into the task at hand, undiluted by distraction. In a world that constantly fights for your attention, mastering focus is the ultimate superpower. Deep work turns ordinary hours into extraordinary results. Guard your focus, and you multiply your time.